Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media.
The wind came down fast over the ridgeline that morning. Cool and sharp, the kind of breeze that makes the pine trees whisper secrets that settle your inner mysteries. Somewhere deep in the Two Medicine Valley, Craig Dahl zipped his jacket higher and smiled to himself. It was his kind of day, wide open skies, empty trails, and no sound but the crunch of boots on dirt and the occasional call of a Clark's nutcracker. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to the breathtaking wilderness of the Two Medicine Valley, a region in the southeastern part of Glacier National Park, Montana. Scenic Point Trail winds along steep climbs, and beside Mother Nature's jewelry drawer, displaying gems like Appistoki Falls. Known for its dramatic mountain peaks, glacier-carved valleys, and remote hiking trails, this area beckons to wilderness aficionados, powerfully and uniquely. This area is part of the Rocky Mountains, flanked by the Lewis Range, where scientists say ancient sedimentary rock tells a story of 1.6 billion years of geological history. The climate here is alpine and unpredictable. Snow can fall in early September, and summer days often swing from warm sunshine to biting winds within hours. Winters are brutal and long, while summers are short but vibrant. Three notable tree species in the area are subalpine fir, Engelmann spruce, and quaking aspen. Shrubs like buffaloberry, snowbrush ceanothus, and common juniper thrive here, as do berry-producing plants like serviceberry, huckleberry, and thimbleberry, all of which attract bears in late summer. Large herbivores in the region include moose, elk, and mountain goats. Predators in the area range from mountain lions to wolves, but it's the grizzly bear that commands the most caution and respect. On the crisp morning of May 17, 1998, 26-year-old Craig Dahl set out on a solo hiking trip into the Two Medicine Valley. It was a place he cherished, having visited the park several times before. Originally from Winter Park, Colorado, Dahl was an outdoor enthusiast with a deep love for wilderness and photography. He had taken a job as a concessionaire in one of the park's shops, just so he could be in the place he most enjoyed. Now, there were a few things Craig was not aware of that would come up as very important soon. The first of which was that a fellow concessionaire at the park had gone missing the prior year. In 1997, Matthew Truskowski had planned to hike into the Two Medicine Valley all alone and climb Mount Sinapal. After Matthew missed his return deadline, a search team began canvassing the valley. During their search, they encountered a sow grizzly and two cubs from the prior year. They knew the sow well, and as she was a familiar grizzly, they dubbed her Chocolate Legs, due to her lower half being much darker than the fur on the rest of her body. All three bears bluff-charged the various search team members, and were noted as behaving strangely. Cadaver dogs were brought in, but no trace of Matthew Truskowski was located. The second thing that Craig was not aware of was that Chocolate Legs and her two cubs were in the area in which he was hiking. He had no idea that the bears had aggressive tendencies toward humans. Chocolate Legs had been trapped previously and fitted with a radio telemetry collar for research purposes. Her collar indicated she was near the Appistoki Valley, above Scenic Point, on the 19th of May. Craig wasn't a novice. He had hiked Glacier National Park before. He knew the terrain and the weather tricks it could play. But this time, he'd come alone. No friends, no bear spray, no firearm, no dog. Just his pack, some lightweight gear, and an ambitious route that would loop him through the rugged spine of Two Medicine, skimming the shoulders of the Appistoki Valley, and perhaps circling back by Scenic Point during his descent. Chocolate Legs had likely been foraging before sunrise, nose down in the bushes, two cinnamon-furred little shadows bounding clumsily after her. She wasn't looking for a fight, but in the tangle of alpine brush and twisted spruce limbs, the meeting was all but unavoidable. A park ranger reported seeing Craig as the young man entered the Two Medicine Valley, but as his report deadline passed, there were no other observations regarding him. He also missed the work shift, scheduled for after his return. 2 days later, coworkers filed a missing person report, and a search party was organized. Craig's car was found parked in the lot at the trailhead, with no evidence of his return. The next morning, the search party spread out to cover their assigned grid. By early afternoon, searchers reported finding evidence of grizzly bear presence, with torn-up ground, clawed trees, and plants flattened by a large animal. Helicopters searched from the air as searchers combed the dense vegetation along creeks and ravines. The following day, May 20th, near Appistoki Falls, tangled in a patch of bushes, Craig's partially consumed corpse was discovered. His gear was scattered over a broad area, and dinner plate-sized grizzly tracks intermingled with cub tracks throughout the site. Track evidence in the snow told the tale. Rangers noted how Craig's tracks suddenly dropped straight downhill at a point on the trail where they assumed the bears had appeared. The grizzlies gave chase after a brief struggle ensued and concluded with the bears consuming a portion of his corpse. Investigators immediately suspected Chocolate Legs and her cubs of Craig's death. Scat was collected from around the attack site and taken for DNA analysis and identification. After the results came in, authorities knew that Chocolate Legs and her cubs were the bears that had killed Craig and consumed his body. Wildlife biologists set up trail cameras in the area and identified the mother grizzly and her cubs. They appeared healthy and were not displaying abnormal aggression. In agreement with park policy, rangers decided the grizzlies had to die, given they'd consumed part of Craig's corpse. A hunting party located the sow near No Name Lake and shot her, as well as one of her cubs. Her remaining cub remained at large for 3 more weeks before being located after it stalked a group of 17 hikers near Upper Two Medicine Lake. A hiker on the fringe of the group indicated that the young male grizzly woofed and growled at him as it paralleled him in the brush. On June 25th, rangers located the grizzly and killed it at the base of Mount Sinapa the next day. For its size, the cub was extremely aggressive, and DNA from all 3 bears was found at the attack site. Likely the mother bear reacted instantly, viewing Dahl as a threat to her young. There was no animal carcass cache nearby, though she may have been protecting a nearby berry patch. A contributing factor in the attack was the sow's protection of herself and her cubs from a perceived threat. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to photos, notes, and episodes. And the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. Craig's death was ruled due to wounds inflicted during a bear attack, and his injuries, consistent with mauling and consumption, confirmed predation by a bear. The sow's behavior was determined to be defensive initially, but turned predatory after the man's death. During an examination of his corpse, no head injuries were found, indicating he was not injured by a fall, eliminating the bears finding his corpse and scavenging it from it as a possibility. To close the circle regarding the disappearance of Matthew Truskowski, his partial remains were found at the bottom of a cliff face on Mount Sinapa in 2006. Due to the advanced decomposition, determining his cause of death was nearly impossible. Given the location of his remains, it is believed he fell while climbing and may have suffered fatal injuries. It is unknown if Chocolate Legs and her cubs scavenged his corpse or participated in his death. Today, around 600 grizzlies wander the remote valleys of Glacier National Park and its 1,583 square miles. Grizzly bear densities here are alarmingly high, at 1 grizzly bear for every 3 to 5 square miles. From 1910 to the time of this attack, Glacier has reported over 20 significant bear attacks, with at least 10 human fatalities resulting from these attacks. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Would the use of an air horn help backcountry visitors alert grizzlies to their approach in densely grown areas? Were Chocolate Legs and her cubs bluff-charging Craig before he fled downhill, triggering a pursuit and attack? Do you think Chocolate Legs' young male cub was so aggressive toward humans by nature, or had he learned it from his mother? Somewhere out there, the wind still moves through the trees, the same way it did when Craig last heard it. The trail remains, silent and unmoved. But the story, his story, walks with every step we take through the Two Medicine backcountry. I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it.
Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.